Okay, so now that we've done a little bit of house cleaning on the server side, as you can see, I have the week 1 that we created, and I moved the original index into there. If I wanted to see it, that's where it lives. I'll come back to my home page and leave it alone for a second. I'm coming back to my FileZilla. I see that in the remote, once again, I have week 1. My WP, or whatever you call your WordPress folder over there, and my home directory is kind of blank right now. It's still just F. Rodriguez and nothing there. I can download that week 1 just by clicking on it, selecting it, making sure I'm on F. Rodriguez on the home side. Right click and say download, and now I have a copy of week 1 locally. It's just a backup. Next, I still want to get my new index file going, so I will return to Notepad, which is blank currently. I'll also go back to the lesson, and then resources to use. I have the basic template, which actually I had just opened. It's still open there. It's the HTML5 tutorial start, and they have examples in every chapter, they say, and they always have this sample code. Very generic code. I'm going to select that, right click on it and copy it. That way bring it to my index page and paste. And that's already declared. It's all here. And you'll see that there's extra spaces on some of these, and I will be adding extra spaces as well. As you may recall from Web Design 1, that's just for the user's benefit. The browser doesn't care one way or another if you have extra spaces. But it makes it easier to read. Page titles already typed in there. Well, let me see a little bit. Maybe I already said this on the previous video. We're declaring HTML5 document, doc type HTML. We have our HTML tag. Our head is the title for now. We have our body declared. We have one heading and we have a paragraph, and then we close the body and we close the HTML. Page title, I can replace this, since this is going to be the very main page. I can put in my name yet again. You'll see this, or your name at least anyway, throughout the website. It's your site. This is my site. Francisco Rodriguez. I will repeat that in the header. And then, rather than typing anything on the paragraph yet, I'm going to create a smaller header. So I'll go down in size to a heading 2, say about me. Close that tag. And I'm going to need 3 lines or 3 paragraphs. So I'm selecting that first one, and then I'll paste it. Copy and paste, or you can press Ctrl V, Command V on a Mac. And this is just going to be basic information. As I said, just very generic. My name, colon, etc. I'll get sick of my name by the end of the video. This is a paragraph here. We will replace it with something else. I should have just used peas, but I will put in my email address. Just like I said, basic information. Hopefully something you're comfortable sharing. Maybe you can create a brand new one, or maybe you can use your .edu address. That's what I'll use for mine. Rodriguez at the.edu. I'm not worried about any additional coding like the mail to or anything like that just yet. And finally, I'm going to put in what my major is. And well, originally I studied journalism and I worked in the newspaper industry for a while. So I'll say journalism / I just completed another degree in information technology. And well, we'll just leave it at that. Next, I'm going to leave a space here for my picture, and I'll just put in a paragraph that says photo, and I'll replace it with a photo when the time comes. And then this is where my bio will go. Same again, just a blank paragraph. My bio goes here, and / that. And Here we will also be putting in links to all of your additional assignments. That's why this needs to be your main index, so that when the grading begins, I can find your assignments fairly quick. Let's see, I have another paragraph. I'll do another header 2 and say assignments. Close the header, and I'll have let's start an unordered list, followed by a list item that says week 1. We know we have something done for week 1, and it's saved somewhere. I'll link it later. For now, I'll just add the link, or rather, yeah, the list item. And I know we don't have a week 2, but maybe we can use that later for something. And finally, our current week, week 3. And any mistakes I can fix right away. Okay, so I have this quick list. If you want to be a little bit more specific, you can always add description. Week 3 is about me, which really should be linking back to this page, but we'll talk about that later. We'll figure it out. Week 1, I think we can just say that this was an index page. Like I said, not really too important right now, but just to have something there. I'll get another header going. The header will say more about me because there will be 2 more pages attached, which will be in the week 3 folder. But once again, we'll talk about those when we get there. Close the H2, and I'll say here that we have in a paragraph maybe a little arrow that says my interests, P, and and I just typed this and I didn't even think about it. I'll need a special character for that, so I'll just use hyphens for now. And whenever we come back to coding, I'll put in the correct ASCII value there. And finally, the second page will be my favorite song. And close that. And we have a basic page going. It still hasn't been saved, so let me save it. File, save. Remember to save early, save often. This should be in my computer. And see. In users, fine, in my Google Drive, my sites, my site F. Rodriguez, and finally week 1 is there. This is our main index page, so we want to leave it in the root, just where we are right now. I'll type in the name, which will be index.html. You can tell it to save as a type HTML just by adding the .html on Notepad++. It will know what type it is. Hypertext Markup Language. Save. And here's our initial page. Now that it's saved, I can go back into FileZilla and reload my local page and right-click and tell it to upload onto the root folder. Now that it's transferred, I can go back into my site and my index of / this is the root folder. I'll reload, press Ctrl R or F5, and I have the page that I just put in. There's a couple of mistakes here. I can see right away that this is not done correctly. Let me take a couple of seconds then to fix it. Assignments, and right, I didn't close the unordered list, so I'll do that right now. /ul and save file, save again, go back and reload it. If you don't want to be uploading and downloading and reloading and all that, we have high-speed internet, so no big problem, but if you want to be checking locally, you can do so as well. Upload, I'll be sure to replace this by overwriting, and now reload, and that looks a little better. Like I said, in the following videos we will be beginning to add some formatting and creating our other pages as well as new folders and directories.